Hi, this is Debbie with Common Sense Landlording. Today I have my rent ready punch list for you. I have been asked many times in the past what I use to make sure my properties are rent ready, and this is the form that I use. Keep in mind that I manage a lot of properties. Some have basements, some have crawl spaces, some are apartments. So this punch list covers everything, and it is customizable so that you can remove things that maybe you don't need. So look through it. You can add things that maybe you want on here that maybe I don't consider to be important. And some things may not apply to you. So for example, house numbers that are visible from the street, both the front and the back. Here, if you have a house on an alley, you're required to have street numbers available and visible from the alley. So they have to be large enough to be seen. They have to be in good condition, and you have to maintain those at all times. If one of them falls off, you can be written up by code enforcement. So I've gone fairly extensively through here. I've covered the yard, the exterior, the interior, and instead of breaking it down by bedrooms and all the different rooms, I've just done all rooms. So go through and make sure, for example, that all of the windows open and close, that all of the hardware is present on all of the windows, things like that. And then I've broken down the bathrooms and the kitchens and a basement or crawl space if the property has one. And then I talk about health and safety in major systems. So for example, I like to know what the furnace filter size is, and I provide 2 extra furnace filters. If you don't do that, that's fine. If you provide 3, 4, or 5, then change your form so that you know that. And I like it to be written on the furnace itself, so it's easy to refer to down the road. I also like to mark the water shut off and the gas shut off. You can order tags on Amazon. They're fairly inexpensive. And I also like to take pictures of the appliance tags, your washer, or not your washer, your refrigerator, your stove, so that if they go out, you don't have to bother the tenant, ask them to try to find the model number and the serial number. It just makes your life a little bit easier. So I also do the garage if it has one. One thing I've learned the hard way is if the property has a door opener in the garage, be absolutely certain it works, or remove it, or mark it as non-functional. Otherwise, you're going to find yourself in a position of having to replace that if maybe the electricity has been removed from a detached garage. There's also information in here on marketing and the owner. I have a whole process. I like to have business cards on the counter. Listings get stolen all the time, so I have an information sheet that I tape inside the door and on windows around the door so that no one can steal your listing and change the locks. So I have entire systems built around how to find a tenant and how to list your property properly. So this is 4 pages long. You may want something shorter. You may want more detail, but this is the rent ready punch list that I use, and occasionally it does have to be tweaked. You may think of something else that you need to have on there, or you may find something that you don't use very often. So be sure you grab this and use it. Also be sure that you join my free Facebook group. It's Common Sense Landlording, and you can go out there and you can join that. And I also have a website, debbievornholt.com.